Alright everyone, welcome to the new LP that I'm going to be doing. I know I've mentioned a couple times what this is, and some of you may be recognizing this as it is playing. But for those of you who don't know, this is American McGee's Alice, a game that was released, I believe, in 2000 by Rogue Entertainment and Electronic Arts. It is a, I guess you could call it a macabre retelling of, or not retelling, but basically a macabre continuation of Alice's story after Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. It kind of picks up where Through the Looking Glass left off. But this is probably one of my favorite, somewhat underrated games. I know it was received pretty well, but it didn't get a lot of attention to begin with. A lot of the attention kind of came after the second one was released, whereas before there was kind of just a cult following, I guess you could say. But probably one of my favorite things about this game is the music. And one thing you may not know, and I swear I'll get to the actual gameplay in a moment here, but the music in this game was actually written by Chris Vrenna, the drummer from 9 Inch Nails, and also the guy behind the newer group, Tweaker, which is the project he started after 9 Inch Nails, I believe. But it also has vocals from Jessica Adams of Jack Off Jill fame. Some of you may have heard of her before. And then the guitarist Mark Blasquez, who doesn't really have anything official. Like, he has a couple remixes on YouTube that I've seen. Like, he has a remix of a ChemLab song. I want to say it was Toxic something. I don't remember. But anyways, this game has probably some of the creepiest and most well-written music I've heard in a game. And I will defend that until the day I die, because this game has great music. Anyways, we're going to be doing this on the same difficulty that I did Clive Barker's Undying on, which is medium. Because easy would probably make the game too easy. Hard and Nightmare would probably make me want to kill myself, especially in reference to one enemy, which I will point out and explain more about later. But for now, let's watch the opening cutscene, and I'll shut up so you can listen to it.
It's time for the tea party. Hush, I've got one. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Oh dear, oh dear. Ah! You must save Alice. Wake up, Alice, wake up!
Mom? Dad? Alice? Mom! Father?
I can't see!
Get out, Alice!
Save yourself, Alice! Get out of the house!
Poor dear. After all these years, maybe that old rabbit will bring her around.
Save us, Alice!
Yeah. Basically, the premise of this game is that, oh, I forgot there's a cutscene here. I'll let the cutscene play and then I'll explain.
Please don't dawdle, Alice. We're very late indeed.
You've gone quite mangy, Cat, but your grin's a comfort.
And you've picked up a bit of an attitude. Still curious and willing to learn, I hope.
Wonderland's become quite strange. How is one to find her way?
As knowing where you're going is preferable to being lost, ask. Rabbit knows a thing or two, and I myself don't need a weather vane to tell which way the wind blows. Let your need guide your behavior. Suppress your instinct to lead. Pursue, Rabbit.
Anyways, so the premise behind this game is that after the events of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, Alice's family, her parents rather, die in a house fire, and it causes her to go insane. But as you may remember, Wonderland is kind of the creation of Alice's mind, and so when she went insane, so did everything in Wonderland. And so, as you'll see here, everything is kind of screwy.
Our land is destroyed, our spirit crushed.
Reminds me of the asylum. Is there no joy here?
Slavery and happiness do not dwell in the same house.
When the path is problematical, consider a leap of faith. Ride the wind.
So yeah, as you can see, basically what has happened is that a lot of the citizens or the denizens of Wonderland have been forced into slavery
Stir up no trouble, stranger. The Red Queen's agents are ruthless.
by the Red
I'm not
Queen.
afraid of her or her creatures. Never was, really. You should stand up to them.
Defiance is useless. While the Queen reigns, only death can release us from this misery.
Or her death, I suppose.
Meta-essence is the life force of Wonderland. That of your enemies is especially potent. Collect what you can. Use it wisely.
And so yeah, it's gotten to the point where they've pretty much given up trying to escape the Red Queen. So, not very happy times. Ooh, Vorpal Blade.
Your knife is necessary, but not sufficient. Always collect what's useful. Reject only your ignorance, and you may survive.
It goes snicker snack. Oh, rabbit. Run, rabbit, run. You better run, better run. Outrun my knife. Anyways, we'll be introduced to combat here in a
Everyone
second.
seems completely dejected. Are things really as bad as all that?
The truth will reduce you to a blubbering baby. Are you the savior Rabbit has been telling us about all this time?
I shouldn't think so. I'm a person. And just now, I wish to get very small. About this big.
Calls for serious twisting. You'll need to go sideways, not forward. If I knew how, I'd go sideways myself.
Not twisted, small. I wish to become about this big.
The fortress adores hold such secrets, but it will take more than a wish to get inside.
Doors have locks. Locks need keys, which you don't have. Let's hope the doors are open.
And if not, there may be more than one way to skin a cat, if you'll pardon the expression.
Most unpleasant metaphor. Please avoid it in the future.
Okay, so yeah. Now we should be introduced... Yeah, here's one of the Red Queen's guards. Oh, I missed. Crap it. Run, Alice! Run! Oh, we got it back. So yeah, every weapon in this game has 2 attacks. You have your primary attack, which with the knife is a you slice and dice. It goes snack-o-snack. And then the second attack is you throw the knife, which is a stronger attack, but the downside to it is that, as you can see, it takes a few seconds for us to actually get our knife back. So it leaves you defenseless for a little bit, which isn't necessarily a good thing. If you're careful, of course, then you won't get in too much trouble. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. And one thing that I want to mention real quick is, one of my other favorite things about this game is the voice actor for the Cheshire Cat, Roger Jackson, I believe? Let me see here. Yeah, Roger Jackson, who is in,
Only a few find the way. Some don't recognize it when they do. Some don't ever want to.
Sorry, just gonna let him blabber on for a second. But he is known for, quite a few Sierra games. He was in a King's Quest game, he was in a Space Quest game, he did a couple Monkey Island games, and he's actually the voice of Mojo Jojo, of all things, from Powerpuff Girls. So if you've seen that show even once and know who Mojo Jojo is, that's the Cheshire Cat, which instantly makes me giggle for some reason. And yes, I said giggle. Shut up, I don't care.
Rabbit told us a champion would come.
Are
you that champion?
Perhaps. Can you get me inside the Fortress of Doors?
Oh no, I wouldn't dare. Since the upheaval, we've all become gutless half-wits. I can barely risk crossing the road. But make your way to the mines, the deepest pit. There's one wiser and braver than myself who might help. He still lives free.
So yes, now we go this way and we don't fall off.
Every adventure requires a first step. Try to put true even here.
And yes, another thing that I like about this this series is that the voice actress for Alice, Susie Bran, they kept the same voice actress from the first one to the second one. And unfortunately, the other stuff she's been in, I've actually never heard of before. Like, she was in a show called You Rang, My Lord, or Julia Jekyll and Harriet Hyde.
Hanging ropes are as good as step ladders to those who know how to use them.
So yeah, I don't really know either any of those she's in,
this
but
deserted place.
To benefit from your wisdom.
Even blurred vision is valued by the blind. If I were clever, would I cower in this slag heap? I'm not wise, girl. I'm just grown old.
I wish to get very small, no bigger than a mouse. Do you know how I might do that?
Only that? Oh yes, I could manage that. For a price.
I have nothing of value.
You have nerve and your health. Mine are nearly gone. I've seen too much suffering, and I smoke too much, you see.
What must I do?
In the Card Guard's compound, a particularly rough diamond holds a key. Retrieve it. I will repay the favor.
sexually. Yes, let's go get this diamond. Whee! And floating Alice. This part's kind of cool. I mean, it kind of defies gravity in a couple spots, but it's just a neat little cinematic thing. Yeah, it was actually kind of funny. I was watching an interview with Chris Vrenna, and he was talking about how he didn't know how to use synthesizers or anything like that. or how, you know, it was all kind of unfamiliar to him because he really only knew like drums and percussion stuff. And so after making the score for this game, he owns like 10 you know, like kids pianos and a bunch of kids accordions and xylophones and stuff like that. And if you listen to the music, it definitely comes through that this is a lot of like
52
kids'
pickup is a
toys.
staple of juvenile humor, but when the deck slices and dices, it's no laughing matter.
Nope. Which, yes, the deck of cards, as you may or may not have seen there, actually has some homing capabilities to it, which is nice. And the primary attack is just the straight stream of cards, but there's a secondary attack which is kind of like a shotgun blast almost. It shoots out, I think, 8 or 9 cards? I forget how many. Anyways, we gotta go follow him. And yeah, see, that's what the shotgun blast does. Is it basically makes enemies explode. There we go. I think that's the easiest time I've had getting through there. I usually end up taking quite a bit of damage.
Very resourceful. Rabbit's confidence is not misplaced. He is no fool.
I certainly hope he is not.
Use the key to free my clan from the oppressive burden they carry.
Nope.
Any fight against the Queen's tyranny is a good fight. They've suffered...
I'm sure I'm very sorry for them, sir. Really I am. But what about me getting small?
Yeah, Alice is kind of impatient. She just wants to fix things and get out of here. Can't say I blame her. This place is creepy. Especially at this next area.
There's a school inside the fortress where you'll find certain items for creating a concoction that will make you small.
What items exactly?
Items, girl. You'll know them when you see them. Speaking of seeing things, we should avoid the card guard's notice. Hang on. Damn it. You can see.
And there is the school. It's that building in the middle, by the way.
Eventually, you must break through such walls. But for now, jump!
No! I don't want to. Okay, so gotta go over here, and through here is one of the enemies I was mentioning earlier, which makes this game almost impossible on hard and nightmare difficulties. At least in my opinion. These enemies coming up are called boojums, and they're basically ghosts that have a banshee wail that they can do that knocks you back and deals damage. And you'll see here just how annoying they are. Well, maybe. Ah, dang it. Also helps if I could aim. So they actually didn't give me too much trouble that time, which I'm thankful for. Normally they give me quite a bit of trouble. But yes, if you've ever seen Halloween play through this game, you will know his hatred, and most players' hatred, of Boojums. Because they are incredibly annoying. Kind of like the jumping. Also, I'm having some frame rate issues, and I'm not sure why. I should be able to run this game just fine, considering it came out in 2000. So I'll have to look into that, I guess. See what's going on with that. Okay, so now we're in the Fortress of Walls, I believe it was called. And this is kind of a... I don't want to say miniature labyrinth, because it's not really a labyrinth. Crap. Crap. There we go. Owned. You're not very bright, are you? Ah, crap. Yeah, we'll get someone to take care of him.
Time to raise some havoc. The dogs of war are loose.
Yup, we got ourselves some demon spray. I forget what the actual term for it is. I meant to look it up before I started playing. But it basically makes you murder things with crazy efficiency. And normally a single knife slash wouldn't take care of those card guards, but when you are a crazy demon Alice, it is more than enough. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to hit him. There's another guy over here? What the heck? So, let's see. Supposed to go over to the right here. I just want to explore a bit, make sure I didn't miss anything. And this part up ahead, even though it's not that difficult, it always gives me trouble. It's one of the many platforming puzzles, I guess you could call it, in the game. So we'll see how well I do. And you may notice that I'm using the jumping reticle to kind of aim my jumps. You don't necessarily have to do that. I mean, you can just kind of jump and, you know, not worry about what the reticle says, but I do it every once in a while just because there are some precision jumps. And knowing my luck, I would somehow massively screw them up. That's not as close as it gets, is it? Okay, I was gonna say. Oh, goodness. Aha! Made it through on my first try. And this is a music puzzle. As you could hear, those doors... Gores? The doors gave off 3 distinct notes. And here's one of the places where boojums become incredibly annoying.
The proper order of things is often a mystery to me. You too?
But you may remember that it played 3 notes. It played... Let me grab this real quick. Low, high, mid. Oh. Did the wrong lever. That's okay. If you screw up the puzzle, you can always just come back up here and pull this. It's just like, just in case you forgot, this is what it sounds like. And thankfully it doesn't spawn more boojums. I think if it did that, people would have hated this section more. So low, high, mid. And that will spawn another bridge thing and open that door. Open all 3 of those doors, rather. I think it may have spawned a couple boojums. I don't remember. Okay, no, it just spawned the card guard. Or the card guards were already there. And yeah, thankfully this little section isn't as difficult when it comes to these platforms. Because you don't have to... If you miss the timing on them, you don't have to wait for the puzzle to reset itself. Also, if you didn't notice before, we are in a giant whirlpool type thing, or a giant tornado, and there's random stuff flying around in the background, including a giant door. Yeah, this game is just a little messed up. Haha, screw you. And here's another platforming puzzle. Again, this one's not too bad, so I'm not too worried about it. Ah, pooey. Oh, jeez. That was almost not good. And this is another puzzle, kind of. It's more luck-based than anything. Basically, you walk towards these doors, and if it's orange like that, you don't want to go in it. But see, unfortunately, the doors also reset themselves. They reshuffle if you choose the wrong one. So like that, I chose the wrong one. So you just have to keep running back and forth until you pick the right one, which unfortunately I suck at. So I'll just stand here and wait. I'll do it the lazy way. Or wait, does it only show up in the middle? That might be it. I don't remember. There we go. So you want the green one to show up. we are on the walls. Oh, also, if you somehow missed the cards earlier, whoa, shut up timer, shut up timer. We'll get inside the school and we'll call it good. But if you somehow missed the deck of cards, oh, wrong direction, wrong direction. Crap it. No! My precious health. Oh well. But yeah, if you miss the deck of cards and you come up onto the wall here before going through the little passage down there where the blue dot is, the deck of cards will actually be over here.
School requires a real logic.
So you can come in here before you do anything else and get a deck of cards. And if you pick up a weapon that you already have... Also, it says it requires a leap of logic, but it's pretty generous in its hit detection, I guess you can call it. But anyways, if you pick up a weapon that you already own, it will replenish your energy, or your magic bar. Which is cool. I like it. So yes, now we are in school. And this is one of the creepier areas because of these little buggers. And so, like, this kid is wearing a mask, and his eyes are permanently held open, and he has his mouth stapled shut. And it kind of gets creepier from there. But the timer also did go off, and I did forget to start the timer right away, so we're probably running a few minutes over. So that'll be it for this episode. Next time, we shall take on the school. Until then.